It's 2025, and someone's just spent $800 on a hairstyler. Not a phone, not a laptop, a hairstyler. And they're ecstatic about it. Meanwhile, their $700 vacuum cleaner sits in their living room, not hidden in a closet, but displayed like a piece of modern art. This isn't just a story about expensive appliances. It's about how one company managed to convince millions of people that paying premium car prices for household tools isn't just normal, it's desirable. But here's the real question. How did Dyson transform from a frustrated inventor's dream into a $6.5 billion empire? And more importantly, is it really worth it? Today we're diving deep into Dyson, a company that's either revolutionizing how we live or pulling off the greatest premium pricing trick since bottled water. Maybe both. Let's rewind to 1978. James Dyson, a former art student turned engineer, is fed up with his Hoover Jr.'s clogged bag. Instead of just complaining, he does something different. He looks at a sawmill's industrial cyclone system and thinks, why not make this smaller? What followed became Silicon Valley-style startup law, but with a twist. 5,127 failed prototypes over 5 years. That's not a typo. 5,000 attempts. Dyson would spend his evenings in a coach house behind his home, tweaking designs, adjusting cyclones, testing suction. His wife taught art to support the family while he burned through their savings, chasing what must have seemed like an impossible dream. But here's what's fascinating about those 5,127 attempts. Each failure wasn't just about the vacuum. Every prototype taught Dyson something about manufacturing costs, materials science, or aerodynamics. By prototype 2000, he wasn't just building a vacuum, he was creating a blueprint for modern product development. By prototype 3000, he wasn't just testing suction power, he was learning how to explain complex engineering to average consumers. By prototype 5000, he had inadvertently created something more valuable than a vacuum, a story that would become the cornerstone of his brand's mythology. When established manufacturers rejected his bagless technology, Dyson didn't just get frustrated, he got enlightened. He realized that true innovation threatens existing business models. Why would companies invested in selling vacuum bags want a bagless vacuum? The rejection led Dyson to Japan, where he licensed his technology to manufacturer Apex. What's fascinating is how this failure became a masterclass in market entry. While Apex made money, Dyson learned invaluable lessons about manufacturing, distribution, and most importantly, how to position household appliances as premium products in Asian markets. By 1993, Dyson launched in the UK. 5 years later, they outsold Hoover. But the real genius? Dyson didn't just make better vacuums, he made vacuums interesting. And that's harder than it sounds. Now let's talk numbers because they're staggering. In 2023, Dyson's profit margins hit 36%. For context, Apple's margins that year were around 25%. Think about that. Dyson makes more money per product than Apple. Their revenue per employee, a remarkable $428,000, higher than Netflix, Meta, or Microsoft. But here's the twist. Independent testing often shows Dyson products performing similarly to competitors costing half as much. Consumer Reports consistently rate several cheaper vacuums as equal or better performers. A $300 Shark vacuum, for instance, often matches or exceeds the cleaning power of a $700 Dyson. The answer lies in something remarkable. Dyson has mastered what we call the premium paradox. The higher they price their products, the more desirable they become. They spend over $10.6 million daily on R&D, but their real innovation might be in marketing. Consider this. Dyson spends approximately 5% of its revenue on advertising, nearly double the industry average. But here's the clever part. They don't advertise like a traditional appliance company. Their ads look more like luxury car commercials. complete with dramatic lighting, sleek cinematography, and an emphasis on engineering excellence. Dyson's product strategy is fascinating. Take their supersonic hairdryer. When it launched in 2016, professional stylists weren't the target market. Instead, Dyson aimed at affluent consumers who'd never questioned why hairdryers hadn't changed in 60 years. The company spends an extraordinary amount, about $159 million annually, just on testing new products. Their Malmesbury headquarters houses over 4,000 engineers, making it one of the largest engineering facilities in Britain. But here's what they don't advertise: their failure rate. The scrapped electric car project alone cost $500 million. Their robotics initiatives? Mostly unreleased. Their first wearable air purifier? Became an internet meme for looking like a cyberpunk muzzle. But these failures reveal something crucial about Dyson's strategy. They're not afraid to fail expensively in pursuit of the next big thing. What's particularly interesting is how Dyson uses these failures. Even unsuccessful projects often yield technologies that find their way into other products. The digital motor developed for their failed electric car. It's now powering their latest vacuum cleaners, the air filtration technology repurposed for their purifiers. For a company that promotes sustainability, Dyson faces some uncomfortable questions. Their products are built to last, yes, but they're also deliberately difficult to repair. The EU's Right to Repair advocates have specifically called out Dyson's practices, noting that even simple battery replacements often require specialized tools and expertise. And while they've invested heavily in battery technology, their focus on cordless products has led to an interesting dilemma. They're creating more electronic waste in the name of convenience. Each battery has a limited lifespan, and replacement batteries often cost nearly as much as a new budget vacuum. The numbers tell a concerning story. A typical Dyson cordless vacuum battery lasts about 2 to 3 years with regular use. With millions of units sold annually, that's potentially millions of batteries heading to landfills each year. Dyson's response? They're investing in solid-state battery technology, promising longer lifespans. But critics argue this is solving a problem of their own creation. So where is Dyson headed? Their recent moves into beauty tech and air purification show they're betting big on personal care and wellness. But they're facing new challenges. Chinese competitors like Xiaomi are rapidly copying their innovations at lower prices. Traditional brands like Philips and Shark are catching up technologically. The numbers are telling. In key Asian markets like China and Korea, Dyson's market share has dropped by 15% since 2021, largely due to domestic competitors offering similar features at lower prices. Their response? Pushing even further upmarket, with limited editions and pro versions of their products. But perhaps most telling is this: Dyson's biggest threat might be themselves. As they push into more categories with premium prices, they risk stretching the boundaries of what consumers will pay for household goods. There's a limit to how many $500+ appliances one household needs or can afford. Their latest moves suggest a company at a crossroads. Their $500 million investment in AI and robotics hints at ambitions beyond traditional appliances. But with each new category they enter, from air quality to beauty tech, they face increasingly sophisticated competitors who've studied and adapted their playbook. This brings us to perhaps the most intriguing question about Dyson. Have they become a victim of their own success? In creating a market for premium appliances, they've attracted competitors who can match their innovation but beat their prices. In pushing the boundaries of what consumers will pay, they may have found those boundaries outer limits. Yet perhaps Dyson's true legacy isn't in their products at all, but in how they've fundamentally altered consumer psychology. They've shown that with the right combination of engineering, design, and marketing, even the most mundane objects can become objects of desire. And maybe that's the real story here. Not just about a company that made vacuum cleaners cool, but about how they changed our relationship with the objects that fill our homes. In Dyson's world, everything has the potential to be extraordinary. Whether that's progress or just brilliant marketing, well, that's for you to decide. Like that clean sweep of the Dyson brand? Hit that subscribe button for more business Sherlock investigations.